Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. Today I want to compare the Rolex Explorer, that's the 214270, the Mark II, the current version of the Explorer, 39mm, against the Rolex Air King, also the current version. I've purchased both recently, and I thought they were similar on pictures, but they couldn't be more different in person. A little check on my wrist today. I have the Rolex Digest 2. Usually I wear this at the office. Absolutely gorgeous. I really love it. I really identify with this watch somehow. I feel good wearing it. Anyway, let's open the little box of wonders. I got my Maurice Lacroix icon. Always fun to show this piece. I got my recently serviced Zenith El Primero Chronomaster. It's very clean now, runs well, very precise. Well, it's a chronometer, certified watch at the origin, and it's been put back to, well, very close to its original performance capabilities. Very Patek-like, this one. And here, three more Rolex. So my Sea Dweller, my beloved Sea Dweller, and you can compare a bit the look with the other two. The Sea Dweller didn't get the maxi case. It has the maxi dial, but not the maxi case. The lugs are still very elegant, fairly similar in profile, although probably thicker here, but very similar from the top as the Air King. The Explorer has thinner lugs. So let's grab the Air King and the Explorer. And by the way, sorry for the poor sound quality. I don't have my microphone today. So at first, if I put the Air King, push it a bit back, you would think it's the same watch with a bunch of crazy numbers added. But they're quite different. So the Explorer is 39mm diameter. The Air King slightly bigger at 40. You see the common thing here visually is those 369s. On the previous version, they were pretty much the same, fully white gold. But on this version, not only the hands, the minute hands and the hour hands got longer, but they also put lume inside the 369. So at night, and we can start with this, the lume is absolutely incredible. I think it's the best watch at night. I love sleeping with it because the chroma light is very soft. It's not a big flash in your face like the Seiko, which sometimes is really too much. The chroma light has a nice blue sheen that will last at pretty much the same level the whole night. Same chroma light used here on the Air King, but it's only at the 12 o'clock. You can see they share the same triangle at 12 o'clock. Still very easy to orientate yourself, but you have to be a bit more creative to judge the exact hour. There's no confusion in the nighttime with the Explorer or in the daytime. I think legibility-wise, it's the ideal. While the Air King, you can see my full presentation of the watch. They've chosen to use the for the interval minutes. This something that helps navigation. And Danny, big shout out to Danny, very kind subscriber of the channel. He's a pilot, and he wrote an article about it. And for him, this is a very useful watch on the wrist for more than one reason. Before a flight, and in the, say, 30 minutes before takeoff, every minute counts, and having those very strong numerals as reference is very helpful to him. In a more general term, in terms of aviation, you have your 369 and your 12. It's your basic reference, and the rest of the minutes you could find those on the Flieger watches. I think the Type B dials had only the minutes, while Type A would be the hours. Here you have a mix of the two, and at first a bit weird, but as I said in my previous video, it comes The look comes exactly from the dial of mega car project, the SEC Bloodhound, which was aimed at beating the land speed record, and they had created 2 dials for that car, and the dials. This is what the look comes from, and you have the touches of colors, while the Explorer is very sober, very masculine, and probably the best all-purpose watch. It's slim, and there's not a situation where you could not wear this watch, which is probably why it was the original James Bond watch in the novel, at least before it became a Submariner in the movie. Because you can imagine this one on the plane, in the water, wearing a tuxedo, although you're not supposed to wear a watch with a tuxedo, but still with a suit. In any possible situation, this is a perfect watch, and you can see time at a glance. No confusion, while you could get a bit confused with the time right now. Oh, it's 5 hours and 55 minutes. Oh no, it's 1. It's slightly confusing. Here there's no confusion. Less is more, I suppose, in that sense. Now, the thickness. The cases couldn't be more different. I mean, it's like a bloated version here on the left side compared to the very slim, elegant Explorer. The reason is the Air King shares the same case as the Milgauss, so you have that architecture which protects it front and back from the magnetic exposure. I believe it runs the 31 caliber. I think it's 3135 in the Explorer. Slightly different there as well. But both are ultra accurate, superlative chronometer specs, and both run about +1 second a day. Probably 2 of the most accurate watches I've had. More accurate than just COSC certified watches, because certification of COSC is, I think, -2 or -3 +6. And most watches will be adjusted to +3. That's what I've noticed on my Explorer 2, my old Explorer 2, and also on my Omega Seamaster Aquaterra. Back to the watches here. So thicker case. It's gonna wear heavier. It's 152 grams against 129. I have 17 centimeter wrists, so I removed 2 links here, and here at first I had removed 2 links, but I had one put back, and I had the inside of the clasp, there's a little pin of adjustment. I had moved it back in to find the right fit. Well, the Explorer really fits to perfection. I'm not sure I've reached the perfect fit yet with the Air King. Also on the wrist, the Explorer makes itself forgotten, being so light and so slim, while the Air King has a lot more presence, which in a way is great visually and for the feel, and if you like a big watch. And I'm a tall guy, so it maybe looks at a distance more suitable for me. But it's a very different trip, a very different feel. Not one is right, not one is wrong. Depends a bit what you like. I think if I had to have just one, it probably would be the Explorer still, because it's just more comfortable. The Air King is more of a statement and has really that pilot look, more sporty. You wouldn't really want to wear that with a tuxedo, while you could be forgiven for wearing the Explorer. Let's look at the lugs here. Looks thinner, better profile, more elegance on the Explorer. No beveling. Same on the Air King. Much thicker there. Bring it a bit closer. The end link, you can see, protrudes. I quite like that. I really don't mind. It's a bit of architecture on the wrist, and extends a bit the look on the wrist. It doesn't wear like a 39. It wears more like a 40, even a 41, I would say, from other brands. And the end link here is really more flushed to the case, and probably Yeah, let's see where the strap begins. The bracelet begins more or less at the same place. So they're gonna wear through the size. I find that the Explorer wears a bit bigger somehow, and the Air King, I suppose, a little bit bigger as well. I'd say like a 41 maybe from other brands. So very similar bracelet, satin-like. Different clasp though. You have the simple fold-over clasp here for the Air King. Very simple system. It's the same that you have on the Datejust 41 and the Datejust 2. But it's a very nice, it's not the cheaper version that you get on the Oyster Perpetual. So you have still very high quality here. It's not a raised logo. And as I mentioned, you have the Easy Link on both watches, so that's one of the greatest features. And I had to move mine here. Normally it comes in the middle plot there. I had to move mine back to get the right fit. You have 3 plots of adjustment. Never forget that, it can be useful for you. Since I have it in my hands, the crown unfortunately points downwards. Nothing on the back. Yeah, speaking of the crown, this one is bigger than on the Explorer. The Explorer one is a bit hard to grab. But here, yeah, I made a video just about that. The coronet magically is almost perfectly straight. The crown here is bigger, so very easy to grab, which is good for pilots to synchronize the watch on the fly. I think the Explorer is a bit smoother to wind. This one here has a bit more of a little click. But what I like is when you, of course you have hacking seconds, you know that. When you push it back, turn it in, never any cross-threading, never any problem with this one. While I do have that problem frequently, almost every time I reset the time on the Explorer, the crown will get stuck in the middle, so I have to turn it back and sort of back turn as I push, try to feel the click and then put it in. Otherwise, both are very easy to set. There's a bit of strength in, I guess, in the gearing, so I tend to put the minutes ever so a hair ahead of the minute marker where I want to set it before pushing the crown back in. Otherwise, I feel like it might not align on the minute marker afterwards. Here you have a better sports clasp with the fold-over bit here with the raised logo. It's a bit more luxurious. You can see the clasp here is the same. So you have this fold-over, you have the Easy Link. I still have it on the middle pin. I didn't need to move that one. And it's just a good feeling watch. It's got presence, but it's still very light. It's a bit like the Ultimate Oyster Perpetual, if you want, with some extra elements like this nicer clasp. I quite prefer. I don't mind this fold over. I quite prefer having it. The clasp is a bit longer, a bit more substantial, and just falls right on my wrist. Let's see. But I think we're just nitpicking here when we start talking about those. But you know, every detail is important if it's your daily driver. So which one to choose? Someone was asking about this comparison, and also because it's also comparing to the Datejust 41. Here I don't have a steel model. I would love to have a steel model with either fluted or smooth bezel. The fluted one is white gold, so it costs more. It would be great, but you know, you can't have them all, and I'm out of money. That's about it. I just made a very significant purchase. today. That's gonna come soon, and you're gonna love this one. Something very, very special. That's a bit like it was the end game, I guess, for my journey. Which one to get? The 41. So the 41 was quite big. It's okay for me with 17 centimeter wrist. If you're, I don't know, if you have smaller wrist or if you're shorter, I don't know. It might overwhelm your wrist. So definitely the Explorer would be easier for you, with the Hacking being a great in between. I really love the Datejust. If you're not a sporty guy, I mean, it's mostly for the office, everyday wear. They have all the same water resistance ratings. So, and the same lock. It's all double lock. It's not triple lock crowns. So if it's the Datejust that catches your fancy, go for it, because you have different dial options. In that case, rhodium dial, blue dial. I think the blue is always going to be very a favorite. Black dial is beautiful. White dial, different numerals or markers. If that's what catches your fancy, no doubt. I absolutely love my Datejust. I think it's a fantastic watch, and it has the easy link as well. Simple folded clasp. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. But if you want something a bit more sporty, these two would be it. This is perfect for every day. Wears perfect on every wrist, and the lume is really setting it apart. Also, the Hacking, obviously, because of the construction, it's going to be a bit more top heavy, and I feel it. I was wearing this one for a day, for a night, and then this one to compare. Yeah, there's a feeling of being at home with the Explorer that the Hacking cannot match. There's no doubt about that. But if you prefer a heavier watch, you don't mind something a bit more thick. We're not talking about a very big slab like a Tudor Black Bay here, okay? It's still a very elegant, rounded case, well polished, and the polishing on the bezel is beautiful on both, and reflect the light and your surroundings very elegantly. So it's still a beautiful watch, but obviously you're not gonna really want to wear this at something too formal, with a formal attire. But if you don't, like me, you don't have a pilot watch in your collection, that is also something to consider. This one is a very original pilot watch, and I'd rather have this than anything from AWC, to be honest. I don't really want a Flieger per se. This brings you that flavor with something else. Which one would I choose to keep? To be honest, I almost traded this one today. I don't want to do it because I just bought it, and I mean to keep it, and I want to have it. But as I said, I did a significant purchase, and I could let it go because I do realize that I'm more comfortable with the Explorer. And I wouldn't say that they're the same to me, not at all. They're really a different trip in terms of feel, look, size, and everything. So they both have a place in a collection, and it's great that they are sort of the entry models of the collection. I think it's worth going for these rather than the Oyster Perpetual. Having said that, the OP has the advantage of having different colors as well, and you can have it in 36 millimeters if you have a more modest wrist. So which one to choose? Between these two, I would say the Explorer edges a bit. And if you're hesitating with the Datejust, then it's tough. I think look for the good deal. Look for the right deal. And also, these are very hard to get right now because Rolex is not delivering enough. And when they do, the ADs are not displaying the watches. They go straight to the secondary market at a premium. That's how it is right now. Don't go pay a premium. It's not worth it. The market will turn around. The stock markets will have its downturn. For now, that's how it is. Do talk with your ADs, see what they have, and if it's a Datejust that you love, buy it. I recommend it. It's a beautiful watch, really well made and well suited for most purposes. Between the three here, well, obviously this one is just a killer watch. This is the one for me, but it costs twice more than the other two. Oh, well, almost twice more. certainly twice more than this one, because I got it at a very good price, because I could get the taxes back. Right, I can't really choose one for you. It's up to you. You've heard what I had to say about it. Best of luck. I think it's more about what you can find these days than what you really want, because you can't walk in and even get the Air King like you could do a year ago. So I really cherish this watch, and a big thanks again to the shop, the Sitter in Belgium. This one, I walked here. This one also is hard to find now. This was from Cho Tai Fook. So big thanks to those guys. They're very friendly here in Causeway Bay. I always love walking in front of the shop. One time I did, and they had two Submariners, two tones. So I could have had my pick of the two. Now you can't find those anymore. It was the last time those had been delivered. Now even those are getting hard to find. I kind of wish I had picked up one, but I had my sight set on this and on the Sea Dweller, and I'm quite happy. You could say I could have had the Submariner two-tone. I would have filled the two, but I think I'm happier with the Sea Dweller. To me, it's the ultimate. Sorry if I talk too long. Maybe it's interesting to you. Maybe it's too long. I hope you're going to make the right choice. Find the watch that you want. Don't pay a premium. Try to find... you might find, a used Explorer or Air King at a better price. But even these days, used, you still almost have to pay more than retail, even for those entry models. It's a tough market. I really love all my Rolex collection. The one missing here is the Explorer 2 Polar Dial 16570. Love it as well. With a GMT complication. I'd love to have a GMT master, but I think I'm really happy. So I speak to you in the next one. It's going to be something very very special, very luxurious. All right, guys. Speak to you in the next one, and I leave you with one last shot of my darling of the moment, the Datejust 2, which is 41 millimeters. Bye bye.